sixth graders. Today we are going to be learning about percents. So we're going to be taking what we learned about fractions and applying it to percentages. All right, so first of all though, what is a percent? All right, a percent is a special ratio that compares a number to 100. Special ratio that compares a number to 100. Okay, so it's a special ratio and it's being compared to the number 100. Okay, we use a percent sign instead of a colon like we do when we are looking at ratios. So when we made ratios and made like equivalent ratios, we used a colon. So instead of using the colon, we're going to use a percent sign, which kind of looks like a colon except it has like a slash through it instead. So we use a percent, that means percent, sign. Oops, that should be an A. Instead, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Instead of a colon, like the dot. Okay, so percent signs. Sometimes people write their percents like this. Sometimes they write them like that. Both are a percent sign. Okay, so either way, those are percents. Okay, let's talk about a normal ratio. So when we had normal ratios, like say 18 to 5. In this normal ratio, 18 is being compared to 5. So here we're saying 18 is compared to the 5. In a percent, when we make percentages, we are comparing to 100. So in a percent, instead of having 18 colon 5, we would have 18%. This means that 18 is being compared to 100. So that sign means compared to 100. All right, so let's look at some examples. So example A. Let's say that I have 60%. Okay, so I have 60%. This means that I have 60 out of 100. So this means that I have 60 out of 100. My part is 60, and this means per 100. So my part, this is the part, is 60, and then my per 100 is right there. So for every 60, or for every 100, I have a 60. So that means 60 out of 100. So we can also write this as a fraction like we did when we were doing our ratios. So I could say 60 is the part. I could have this little line, my fraction line, that means per, and then my denominator, or the whole is 100. So this is my whole. So I'm comparing my part to my whole with a fraction. Okay, so if I had, let's say that I had, example B, let's say that I had 75%. Oh my goodness, this pen. Okay, I had 75%. This means that I have 75 out of 100. Percentages always mean 100. Think of pennies. You have 100 pennies for every $1, right? 100 cents for every dollar. 100 pennies make $1. So that means that you have 100 cents per cent. So 1 cent is 1 out of 100. All right. I would like for you to write this percentage. What does this percentage mean? So here are 2 try-its for you, and your job is to tell me, what does this mean? So try-it number 1, I have 80%, and try-it number 2, let's do 14%. So tell me what it means. What do these 2 try-its actually mean? Okay, hit pause so that you don't hear me talking, and then when you are ready, go ahead and hit play. All right, so this one means that I have 80 out of 100. This one means that I have 14 out of 100. All right, how did you do on those? Okay, now we're going to make these into fractions. Okay, so we're going to use the same ideas, and now we're going to turn these into fractions. So 75 out of 100, just like up here, I had 60 over 100. It means the same thing. Out of is just a fancy way of saying a fraction. So I have 75 over 100. 60 out of 100 is 60 over 100. So go ahead and turn your try-its now into fractions for me. Hit pause so you don't see me turning my percents into fractions. So this just means right here 80 over 100. And this one here means 14 over 100. All right, 6th graders, how did you do on this? Go ahead and answer your essential question. What are percents? And then out to the side, go ahead and put how many points you got out of 3. Like rate your understanding out of 3. How do you feel about this? 1, I totally understand, or 1, I'm super lost. I have no clue what any of this means. 2, I kind of understand it. I'm just putting a number over 100. Or 3, I totally get this. I'm ready for my practice work. And so I'm going to go and work on that. All right, 6th graders, as always, thank you so much for all of your hard work and your effort. If you have any questions, come to the Google Meet and ask me. Otherwise, make it a great day the Cougar way.